Hi, and welcome to this 30-minute yoga practice. I'm Andrea. Great to have you here. Sometimes it's optional to have a chair. This is a practice where you are going to want to have one. So we'll be using particularly the seat of the chair, but we'll use it for balance. Great idea to have one. I'm standing on a yoga mat. If you don't have one, just find a place in your house that's carpeted, not too slippery. Also, a couple of yoga blocks. If you have thick books, that will do the trick. And a folded blanket or towel, the throw blanket from your couch, or a good thick bath towel or beach towel will be perfect. And then we'll get started as we often do, standing in our Tadasana, our mountain pose. But today, I want us to kind of think as a theme of standing tall. It's always something in the back of our mind, but we're going to bring that to the forefront so that we can stand tall through it all. There's certainly been a lot of challenge to that over the past year. So feel your feet in the earth. Get grounded. We need a firm foundation in order to stand tall. Feet are hip distance. There's a soft suggestion of bend in your knees. Turn your palms away from one another, but let that happen at the shoulders so you feel that in addition to standing tall, you're smiling. Your collarbones, you're smiling the crown of your head to the sky. We find that beautiful posture alignment of ears over shoulders, over hips, over heels. Imagine gazing at a bright horizon, part of standing tall, being able to see the blue skies, even through the clouds, which are inevitable on the skyline sometimes. And as we stand here tall in our mountain, invite your breath. If you can, try to breathe in and out through your nose. An occasional in through your nose and out through your mouth, like a little bit of a sigh of relief is fine. But if we can cultivate inhales and exhales through the nose, that's ideal. Eventually, something to move towards. And here we'll stop so that we can start. We'll start with a little bit of movement. Inhale, thumbs to the sky, arms overhead in a V shape, and exhale, just drift your arms back along your side. Twice more like that. Inhale, arms out and up a V shape, and then drift your arms along your sides. And one more time, inhale, V shape overhead. And then float the arms along your side. Pause and stand tall. Probably your best bet is to have the short edge of your mat facing me. I'm kind of skewed on my mat so that I can face you. I'll do the moving. You just want to have a good view of what's going on, so you don't have to move around. Inhale, arms out to the side, a V shape. And then exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Traction your hands onto your thighs and inhale some more length into our stand tall spine. Exhale, hinge a little deeper at the hips, and then inhale, arms out and up. We have that soft bend in our knees, V shape, thumbs to the sky. And then float the arms alongside you. Again, like that, sun salutations. Inhale, arms out and up. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands come to your thighs. Inhale, traction, even more length into your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips, but your head never goes lower than your hips. And then inhale, arms out and up, a V shape, thumbs to the sky. Float your arms, palms face out. We stand tall. Last one, inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands come to your thighs. Inhale, tractioning, lengthening, standing tall, even in a little bit of a fold. And then exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, thumbs to the sky. And then stand tall in your mountain. For our next thing, there are a few props that I will suggest. You could start to use our chair that I believe we all have for this practice. You also have the option to use tall blocks. The placement of your tall blocks is kind of key. Place them on the edges of your mat so they're not in your way, they're not underfoot. Situate your mountain in between your two blocks or right there in front of the seat of your chair where you have pretty easy access to place your hands on the base of your chair should you choose to use that option. And then inhale, arms out to the side, a V shape. We start with our sun salutation. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands onto your thighs. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and this is where you might choose to place your hands on the base of the chair or place your hands on your tall blocks. Step your left foot back and be on the ball of your back foot. Now remember moments ago when we had our hands on our thighs and we tractioned that tall spine? Invite that tall spine here into your lunge position. Now imagine there's a magnet on your right hip and it's drawing the right hip back and the left hip forward. So if you had flashlights on your hips, they'd both be inclined to face the front edge of your mat or towards your chair. Now see if you can find even more length through your spine in here also. Nobody's head is lower than their hips. And then stay with this. Just imagine a little bit lighter on your hands, on your chair, or on your blocks. So you can feel that there is standing tall happening in your legs in a lunge. 2 more moments, just like this. Firm through your feet and through your belly. And then step, left foot, hip distance from right foot, hands to thighs. Inhale your heart forward. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, a V shape, and then float your arms along your side, palms face out. Second side. Inhale, arms out and up, V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, take your hands to the tops of your thighs. Inhale, grow taller than you've been so far and keep that length. Hands placed on the base of your chair or hands onto your tall blocks. This time your right foot steps back. You're on the ball of your back foot and you have plenty of sideways space, so you're not trying to fashion this on a tightrope. Your left foot can go to the left a little bit if that gives you a little bit more sense of the ability to stand tall in a firm foundation. Now left hip tractions back. Right hip is extended forward a little bit as if your flashlights on your hip bones were both facing the front edge of your mat. Feel your tall spine translated into a lunge so that we can translate that tall spine, that ability to stand tall, off our mat and into our lives also. Now, let yourself get a little bit lighter, even if it's just a thought, on your hands that are on your blocks or on the base of your chair, just kind of getting a feeling of standing into your feet in this pose, maintaining your breath and your long spine. And then slowly, with a firm belly, step your right foot hip distance from your left foot. Inhale, hands to your thighs, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape overhead. Stand tall into the majesty of your mountain. Adding on to our little sequence of sun salutations here. Inhale, arms out and out, up, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, grow tall as you traction, and then hands on the base of your chair or hands onto your blocks. From here, step your left foot back, so we're back into our lunge shape. And remember how we got lighter on our hands a moment ago? Now we're actually coming upright. So give yourself that sideways space that can be helpful to balance, firm through your belly, and then come upright, thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side. If a V shape feels okay and you're not scrunching your shoulders into your ears, terrific. Some might feel better with a little bend in the back knee. So if that's you, use your personal agency here in your practice and let yourself stand tall. So if it's tight in that back leg, if you add a little bit of bend there, maybe you can stand a little bit taller. Stay steady. Your gaze could be at that bright horizon, or if your balance is a little bit wobbly, just gaze down a little bit. You're still seeing a bright horizon. You just have maybe a little bit more balance there. Very slow motion, staying upright and lifting through your belly. Begin to straighten your front leg, and now the balance gets even more interesting. We're standing tall. We have this wide stance, front and back, and a pretty wide stance side to side. Thumbs stay skyward. If you're looking down, you could play with looking at that horizon. If it bobbles, it's not bad. It just means that it's working. And then bend your front knee. Return your hands either to your blocks or to the base of your chair. And then with your belly firm, step your left foot hip distance from your right. Inhale, hands to thighs, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips. And then inhale, arms out and up, a V shape. Stand tall in your mountain. Second side of that, inhale, arms out and up, a V shape, thumbs to the sky. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands onto your thighs. Inhale your heart forward, hands to the base of your chair or hands onto your blocks, and then step your right foot back. Give yourself the benefit of sideways space. So maybe left foot to the left, right to the right a little bit, firm through your belly. Slow motion, upright with our torso, so all the way up, thumbs to the sky. And here maybe a little bend in that back knee if it's tight in the front of your right thigh. If it's okay, you can experiment with thumbs to the sky, V shape. If that's crowding shoulders into ears, I would just stay out to the side. And this is a little easier to balance maybe. Pretend that you've got those flashlights back on your hip bones and your right hip is navigating forward and your left hip back a little bit. And then either shift your gaze down, if that was helpful, or towards your bright horizon. And very slowly begin to straighten your front leg and let it be silly good fun. You're just trying to find some balance. Like I said, maybe arms out to the side gives you a little bit more of an ability to balance. And if it's going pretty well with your gaze down, just playfully start to lift your gaze towards the bright horizon. We're all seeing a bright horizon no matter where we're looking. We're seeing the blue skies as we stand tall. 2 moments. Slowly begin to bend your left knee. Return your hands to your blocks or to the base of your chair. Make sure you're situated and your belly is firm. And then right foot hip distance from left foot, hands to thighs. Inhale, traction, lengthen your spine. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out and up, V shape. And then stand in the majesty of your mountain. This is the part where we will use our chair. So have that close to the front edge of your mat. You can leave your blocks where they are. I just want you to be careful that you don't trip on them. So we are going to be doing a little bit of balance here. If you're concerned about your blocks, it's best to just move them off to the side. Hand on the base of the chair, stand on your right leg, and step your left foot onto your chair. So you're standing on your right leg, left foot onto the chair. Perhaps your hand stays on the back of the chair the whole time. Or arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. If you think about it, this looks a little bit like that lunge that we did upright, just at a different angle. Yeah? Possibly start to get lighter on that left foot. You want to hug the outer right hip in, so this is not a collapse. And I would prefer that you keep your hand on the chair and really work standing tall. Maybe a little lighter on that left foot. Maybe you even venture the left foot off the chair a little bit. So you decide where the porridge is just right. You could look at the bright horizon. You're seeing the bright horizon even if you're looking down at your foot or down at the ground for some balance. 2 more here. Return your hand to the base of your chair. Take your right hand onto your hip. Keep that right hip firm. And then step your left foot hip distance from your right. You could walk to the other side of your chair. I can't, or I will go out of frame. So I'm going to stay here. Stand on your left foot. Place your right foot onto the base of your chair. Feel free to keep your hand on the base of the chair. Hug your outer left hip in now. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, if it's feeling like the right move for you. You're the expert. I'm the guide. Now get situated, and maybe you can feel the commonalities of the lunge that we did. And this is play. It's not required, but you can get a little lighter on the right foot, pardon me. And you could even lift your right foot off your chair if appropriate. And you're the one who will decide whether that's the move for today or not. Stand tall through it all. 2 more. And then return your hand to the base of your chair and your right foot onto your chair. And step gently, hip distance. Pause here. Perfect, adding on to that. Stand on your right leg again. Hold the back of your chair just to get situated. Left foot onto your chair. You can do this with one hand on the base of your chair the whole time, or thumbs to the sky, arms out to the side, and then just start to turn. So if we're going to stand tall through it all, we want to make sure that we're standing through the twists and the turns. So you're turning to your left foot is on your chair, no shoulders and ears, and the outer right hip is really solid. Now, if for any reason it feels interesting to lighten up on your left foot here and play with it coming off the chair, you do you. Make sure it's really what the pose is asking for, and that you're still able to stand tall. And then slowly turn back to face the front, hand on the base of your chair or the back of your chair. Step your left foot down. Return to your mountain. So this is our foundation pose. We want to be this tall, even as we now stand on the left foot. Take the right foot onto the base of your chair, the seat of your chair. Stand tall as if in your mountain. Hug the outer left hip in, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. You're welcome to use the back of your chair. Turn to your right and pause. So twists and turns are inevitable in life, aren't they? But look at us standing tall through it all. Now maybe you play a little bit with the right foot getting lighter on the chair, only if you deem that appropriate. Last couple moments here. It's play, it's fun, it's balance. And then slowly unwind. Use the back of your chair. Carefully replace your right foot hip distance from your left. Now, you may want to collect your blocks and place them back out of your way on either side of your mat if you use them for our first set of lunges. Inhale, arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky. Hinge at your hips, hands onto your thighs. Inhale, heart forward. Again, you have the option to use your chair seat or to take your hands onto your tall blocks. Keep the length through your spine and your head above your hips. Step your left foot back. Now our right foot is forward, our left hip is back. The length is evident in our spine. And remember the twists and turns that we just did? And in fact, we just turned this very same direction. So I've had you do the same side in 2 different poses so that you can sense that there's something in common. Keep your left hand on your block, right thumb to the sky, arm out to the side, and then just start to find a little bit of a twist. But remember, right hip back and left hip forward. So we're not letting it become a twist where it's taking our hip out to the side. Your thumb is to the sky, there's no crowding of shoulders into ears, and you're welcome to look down if that helps with balance. Make sure you're breathing. We want to spin the inner upper arms away from one another and let the twist happen in our waist, not so much in our neck. 2 moments. Now, return your right hand onto your block. Slowly start to straighten your front leg. But again, heed my warning of head staying higher than hips. That's important. You're welcome to have your left hand on the chair. That's going to elevate things. So maybe that will be helpful to keep your head above your hips also. Or left hand on the tall block, right thumb to the sky. Front leg is straight, it's not locked out but straight, and we just play with our twist here. Same twist that we did on our chair, really. We're standing tall through the spine. And we're actually standing pretty tall with our right leg as straight as it wants to go today. And then just 2 more moments here. Unwind. Take your right hand onto your block and re-bend your right knee so we return to our lunge shape. Step your left foot hip distance from your right foot, hands to thighs, inhale. Exhale, hinge at your hips. Inhale, arms out to the side, a V shape, and then float your arms along your side, palms face out, stand tall. Second side, inhale, arms out and up. Thumbs to the sky, V shape. Exhale, hinge at your hips, hands to your thighs. Inhale, heart extends and hands come to the seat of your chair or to your tall blocks as you step your right foot back. And we're in our lunge shape with a very, very tall spine. Plenty of space side to side. We're balanced on the base of the right toes. And then we just think back to what we did on our chair, and frankly what we did on the first side too. Right hand stays on your block, left thumb to the sky, out to the side. And then just playfully, not forcefully, but playfully, begin to turn your waist towards your left, but keep your left hip moving back towards the back edge of your mat. Keep the breath steady, and find a place where there's just enough feedback for it to be interesting. No sharp pain. Nothing extreme. See how tall you can stand in this twist and turn. 2 silent moments. Unwind. Left hand comes to your tall block or both hands on the base of your chair. Slowly straighten your left leg. Remember, we're not locked out. We're not letting the straightening of the legs swing our butt out to the side. So find those flashlights on your hip bones. Let them face as much as you can towards the front of your mat space or towards your chair, whatever it is that you're using. And then keep your right hand on your block or on the base of your chair. Remember, head above hips the whole time. Thumb to the sky, left arm extends out to the side, and playfully with a straighter leg, we start to find our twist. Now be careful, no shrugging of shoulders into ears. Let it be elegant and spacious. You're not trying to become a corkscrew. Stand tall, breathe deep, 3 moments. And then return your left hand to your block or the base of your chair and bend your left knee. Step your right foot hip distance from your left. Inhale, hands to thighs, lengthen through your spine. Use your chair base or use your 2 tall blocks to find your way onto the floor. And once we're on the floor, I will move my chair so that you can better see me. You might find your folded blanket or towel, and then just situate that. I like mine quite tall, but you can have a little bit less if you want, or a little bit more with the assist of like maybe a pillow or a cushion from your couch. And then once you're seated, bend your right knee, stamp your right foot onto your mat. Give yourself a little bit of space, like your fist could fit in between your right foot and your left thigh, and then stand tall here. Curl your left toes back towards you. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. And then turn to your right, just like we did with our foot on the chair, but now look at us, seated and yet standing tall. Now, for a lot of us, this is gonna feel best. You decide. It could be that you take your right knee and give yourself a little bit of leverage, but I don't want you to draw that knee across your body. So stand tall with your right knee and decide if you want to have a leveraged twist or one without leverage. There's benefit to both. Stay for a couple moments here. And then unwind. Take your right foot, carefully place it into your left inner thigh, or maybe it's a little bit more like the shin. And for some, it could be nice to place a block underneath your right thigh bone. So those are options. Stand tall, V shape. And now we twist the other way. Right ribs turning towards your left straight leg. And then place your fingertips down on the ground, but stand tall. So none of us are slumping. We're standing tall. We have a little bit of a twist and turn, just like we did earlier in our practice. And it's a hinge at the hip that maybe takes us a little bit further down. But it's not, the objective is not to try to get your face to your leg. It's to stand tall through it all and feel a hip opening stretch in the right leg and a hamstring stretch in the left leg. 2 moments here. Slow motion. Bring yourself up, help it along. Right hand on the outside of the right thigh. Step the foot to where it was and then lengthen it out, and that'll probably feel kind of nice to it. Switching sides, bend your left knee. Left foot about a fist distance, easy for me to say, between your left foot and your right straight leg. Arms out to the side, thumbs to the sky, a V shape. And then turn to your left. Stand tall even though we're seated. Keep curling those right toes back. Make sure that your left knee is facing to the sky, especially my friends who decide to take a hold of it as a little bit of leverage. So remember, it's not collapsing across our body. None of this is to try to be extreme. What we really want is to find that length and height and spaciousness. 3 moments here. Now unwind and take your left foot into the inner thigh or to the shin. Remember, a block underneath your left thigh might feel good to you. Once you're seated and situated, sit tall, V shape overhead. Curl those right toes back towards you. And then turn your left ribs a little bit towards that right leg and start to wander out, hinging at the hip. And pause here for just 2 moments. And slowly bring yourself up. Here are your options. First, let's get out of this. So stamp your left foot and then extend your left leg and either stay here seated in a cross-legged seat as a final meditation or lie down on your back as we often do in our Shavasana meditation. And if you're lying down, your feet can flop open and your palms will face the sky. If you're seated in meditation, as I am, palms up or down. We're standing tall through it all, whether you're lying down or seated right now. And I'll be silent so we can seal our practice in meditation. If you're lying down in a Shavasana final meditation, you're welcome to stay exactly where you are. If you're making your way back, bend your knees into your chest, move slowly, roll to either side, and bring yourself up into a comfortable seat that might look like where those of us who took the seated meditation are right now. And then just pause for a moment to sit tall so that you can, as I said earlier in the practice, stand tall through it all, off your mat, just like you did with me on your mat. I'm Andrea. Thank you so much for practicing with me. I look forward to us doing it again soon.